welcome to all the Murids of Maulana, especially Murids of Maulana from India and those subscribers who are subscribed from the India channel. Alhamdulillah, we had a very blessed session with Shaykh Bahauddin Sultan yesterday. Alhamdulillah, they covered many set of questions of us which were submitted to Sheikh Ashraf Ali by Murids from all over India. Alhamdulillah, there were many panelists in yesterday's session, because of which we were not able to take up all the questions with Sheikh Bahauddin. Inshallah, rest of the questions we will try to ask Sheikh Ashraf Ali, Deputy of Maulana to India, to answer those. Let us welcome now Sheikh Ashraf Ali, Deputy of Maulana to India. Yes, sir. Jazakallah for your time and entertaining these questions. Yes, there were many questions, and we shortlisted from those questions. Again, few number of questions we shortlisted, and again a few set of questions will be asked in another session. So let us walk through first question. That is being asked by number 3. First question would be, what should new Murids do as in Lakshmani practices?
Which we had with him, and he answered a lot of our questions, and like Sheikh Abdul Karim, he mentioned that there are some questions which are pending, and we were not able to ask Sheikh Bahauddin because of the lack of time and various other reasons. So we'll try to answer these questions inshallah, and I have actually run through those questions, and I know that all these questions have already been answered by Maulana Sheikh Nazim, Maulana Sheikh Muhammad and Sheikh Bahauddin in various sohbas also. But inshallah we will definitely answer them. The first one which was asked is, what should be the practices of a new Murid? Well, a new Murid, first of all, when he comes into Tariqa, into Lakshmani Aliyah Tariqa, he has to start with his basics. And these basics stay with us till the end. It's not that we just do these basics while we are new and then we quit. It's not like that. There is a basic set of awrad which needs to be done. And before that, the person needs to try and make sure that he is praying 5 times a day. Because this is like the most basic thing which he has to make sure he has been doing, practicing. And it's Ramadan time, so he has to make sure he is fasting. And I will not speak about these farais because it is understood that these have to be done. So after this, as a murid, a person has to make sure that he starts doing his awrad. He starts removing daily sadaqah. Keep a bowl, like Shaykh Bahauddin mentioned even yesterday. We've been saying this since ever, and it is from the teachings of Maulana that keep a bowl at home and try to remove anything, one coin or whatever is convenient for you, remove that amount of money every day as sadaqah. So awrad, salat, awrad, sadaqah, weekly zikr, and listen to Maulana's sohbas. This is very important. All the murids, new or old, must listen to Maulana's sohbas. Because if we are listening to Maulana's sohbas, most of our questions are already answered in them. Most of the questions which were asked last night or in most of the live sessions also, if you listen to Maulana's sohbas regularly, you will see that all the answers are already there. So again, new person, besides the farais, he must start doing his awrad. sadaqah, weekly zikr, and listen to Maulana's songs.
MashaAllah, Sheikh Ashraf Ali had summed it up in 4 pointers. Alhamdulillah. So, next set of question I will ask you. Next question would be, what zikr should we give to small children?
Very good question. And this was, I had asked this to Maulana Sheikh Muhammad a few years ago. I think 6 years ago maybe. And he said when they are kids, don't burden them too much. Just give them, let them do one tasbih of Bismillah Rahman Rahim every day. That's enough for them in the beginning.
MashaAllah. Treasures from the vault of Maulana Sheikh Nazim is coming.
Absolutely.
Subhanallah. Let me ask you third question. Now this is again asked by a Murid. Some businessmen Murids say that we have to lie in business. It has become normal. But inside we feel guilty too. What is your advice on this?
I've also come across a lot of people, a lot of Murids who say that we have to lie in business. But this is not true. This is not how our Prophet or the Sahaba they did business. And we are learning from the Prophet, and we are learning and following him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Sahaba Ikram. So we have to do the business according to how they were doing, not according to what we see around us. If lying and adultery and drinking alcohol, all these things have become normal, speaking lies has also become normal, doesn't mean that we start adapting all of them. We don't have to do that. We have to follow the principles of our Prophet. So in that, there is no place for lies. Some Sahaba, they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I will summarize the hadith, I will not go into detail. They asked him sallallahu alaihi wasallam that can a mu'min be a coward? So he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes, at times he can be. Can he be a miser? So he said, at times yes, it's possible that he may be a miser. Then they asked, can he be a liar? So he said, no, he cannot be a liar. Okay, he said clearly that he cannot be a liar. And there's another hadith where it is, which I will summarize, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that when a person lies, a Muslim or mu'min lies, the angels of rahmah and barakah, they go away miles and miles away from that person because of the smell, bad smell which comes from his mouth. That is one lie. Imagine the person who is doing business and he is lying throughout the day. How far off the angels of rahmah will go away from him. And then we complain that we don't have barakah in our business. How you will have barakah? You push the angels away by lying. And the person who will lie in business is the only person, only those people will lie who do not trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give you halal rizq if you speak truth. You need to have kamil iman, yaqeen, that rizq has to come. You are breathing means your rizq is still active. The moment the rizq finishes, our breath will stop. Or the breath stops, rizq will finish. So we have to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Yawmul Jadid, Rizq al Jadid. New day, new rizq. So He is giving us our rizq and it will come to us. So take it with take it in a clean plate, which is the plate of truth. We don't have to lie and take it. And maybe it will be difficult for people to accept this, but they have to do it because we have to answer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have seen a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't have enough margin in this product, only 5 rupees margin or 10 rupees margin, whereas actually they have a big margin. So easiest method for this is don't mention such things. Don't bring the topic of profit and loss in that. You can just tell the person that, sorry, I cannot give it below this price. It's not feasible for me. Don't say I have less margin or more margin, or don't lie. And don't lie, this is the best of the products, this is this, this is this. If you say it's one of the best, which if it is actually, then it's a different thing. But if you say it is the best product and there are so many other better products available, it's a lie. Don't lie. Speak the truth. And when we speak the truth, you don't have to remember anything. It's a very easy, simple principle. Speak the truth and you don't have to remember anything. Thank you. I think that should have covered the point.
Yeah, absolutely, it covered the point. Very insightful from Maulana's teachings and Ahadith Sharif. Next question, I think it is a problem of not only India but entire subcontinent, where it is asked by Murid, where they say many people suffer with barqa issues and various problems. They start believing there is effect of magic on them. What do you say about this?
I have come across a lot of people who very, very often they ask me this question. And we have to see, there have been times I've seen that whenever there is even a small problem, people don't think about anything else, but they start thinking that someone has done cast some spell on them. We have to remove this from our brain. Number one, get rid of this from your head. Especially if you are Naqshbandi Murid, you are not allowed to think in this line. You are not allowed. Either you believe your Shaykh or you believe that evil will strike you. Though you cannot believe both. So if you believe in your Shaykh, then I will tell you what is happening. Most of our problems are because of our own deeds, because of our own weaknesses. Like I just mentioned about the business. So if the person is complaining about barakah, it is not because of a spell or a jinn. It is because of him lying and getting scared, not scaring, pushing the angels of barakat away from himself. And because of which he is facing problems. And like I mentioned, Yawmul Jadid, Rizq al Jadid, new day, new risk. And when this risk is distributed, it's distributed in the morning. So never sleep between Ishraq and Fajr, Tahajjud and Ishraq. Or at least Fajr and Ishraq. Don't sleep between that time. That is when the angels are bringing your risk. And most of the people, I would say most of the Muslims are sleeping at that time. And when they're sleeping, those angels, they come with your rizqi and they go away. And when they go away, so you will feel throughout the day that your task is about to be completed and then there's an obstacle and it just gets blocked. It doesn't get completed. Because the risk came, you were about to get it but you were sleeping and it went away. So this is what happens, and because of which it is our fault. It is our laziness. But we are blaming someone else, some stupid magician or some jinns. We are blaming them. It's not their fault. They are not even involved in this. It is our mistake. Number one. Yes, people do cast spells and jinns and this and that, but as Naqshbandi Murids, don't think about all that stuff. Snap out of it. Come out of that thought mentality, whatever you want to call it. Because our Shaykh, he is so powerful that when we take bayat from him, we are inside that protection circle. And to stay inside that protection circle, like I mentioned earlier in the first question, we have to make sure we practice our daily practices. And these, whatever problems we are facing, there are different reasons for it. Number one, yes, we have to look at ourselves. What we are doing, where we are going wrong. What have we done wrong? Maybe we have done something wrong and we are paying the price for it. If we step 1 degree towards a certain direction, okay, for us at that moment it's only 1 degree. Maybe it's like, for example, it's only one line. It's only 1 degree. But if you look at that 1 degree, if you keep going straight in that direction for 50 kilometers, you will end up somewhere else. Or 100 kilometers or 1000 kilometers, you will end up somewhere else. Whereas if you kept going straight on the line of Sirat al-Mustaqim and the line of truth, you would have reached your destination. But what you did, one lie or one mistake or one something, 1 degree. And over the years, you end up somewhere else. Now whose mistake it is? Which magician, which jinn? It's not their mistake. It's not their involvement. And even if you had any such issues with you, the moment you take bayat, it's gone. Forget it, remove it from your brain and focus on what you have to do. Everything will be better for you. Just attend the weekly zikr. We're doing it online now. If not, you have local zaviyas nearby, attend your zikr and keep niyat in that zikr for clearance from all those problems. There is hadith where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's saying hadith Qudsi, Ana jalisum min zakarani. I'm sitting or present with those people who are making zikr. What more we want? So when we are in that majlis, we know this hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said anything is all haqq, it is truth. So when we are sitting in that gathering in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I am present in that gathering, then keep your hajat, keep your questions, keep your dua. Allah is the only one who will answer them. And if He is saying that I am present in that gathering, what more we want? Who is more powerful? Uncomparable. We cannot compare the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All these useless things under our feet, no use, don't worry about them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah is much more than enough for all of us.
Jazakallah, Shaykh. Just an extended small question to that. Would magic affect the Murids of Maulana?
No. Either you are murid or you are under a spell. Because the moment you take bay'at from Maulana, you enter that protection circle and it's finished. Even if you had anything before you took bay'at, it's broken, it's finished. And the moment you're inside the circle, see, whenever, if there was an effect, there may be a spiritual effect on that person, and then there might be a physical side effect or after effect. That may go off slowly. Like for example, if it affected the person physically and he got some illness, that will go off slowly. But there is no, it will not affect you. Can be relaxed about this. Just forget that point.
Next question, Shaykh. A lot of people add titles with their own names. What is the value of
doctor, engineer, or other titles?
other titles?
Other titles, yes, I know.
Not worldly, but they are kind of spiritual titles.
See, these titles are something which has to come from above. It cannot come from below, or it cannot come from someone of that same level, or it cannot come from himself to himself or herself to herself. Example I will give you. There is someone who wants to be called a boxing champion, world champion. Okay. He goes to a shop, he buys a belt and he wears it. Okay. And then with his name, he starts applying world champion Abdul Karim, world champion Abdul Karim, world champion Abdul Karim. 10 times when you mention it somewhere, then people will start calling you world champion Abdul Karim.
Oh, mashallah.
Correct. But is there any value for that world champion Abdul Karim? You bought the belt from a shop.
Right.
But when that belt, you fight for it, and you win that belt, and then you're awarded that belt, then it's a different thing. You got it from above, and you're recognized openly. Another example I'll give you, you go to a shop of flower garlands, you buy a nice big garland, put it on yourself, and take a picture. This is self-title. It's no value. Inside you know that there's no value for this. But the same garland, if someone is honoring you with it, is putting it around your neck, then it's different. Then it has value. So I have seen many places, in India I've seen at many maqams, they mention so many titles with one wali of that certain maqam. And those different titles are of so many different levels. It's like saying SSC pass, MBBS, MBA, all those titles they're putting on one person. 10th pass, 12th pass, this pass, that pass, they're putting all those titles on one person. Why? Because they don't know, we don't know what are those levels. So because we don't know what those levels are, so we just start applying all those on them. But when the title comes from the top, then it is different. Then it is different. Then it is a true title, because the one who is above can see who you actually are. And then they will give you a title. And they will call you by that name, and that is your real. And title is not just a title. In spirituality, title is a station. It is a maqam which the person has achieved. which that wali has achieved. So he is at that particular maqam. Calling ourselves anything, we can put any 10,000, one full book full of names and titles we can put around our names, but it's no value. Anything which has no value in divine presence is useless.
The last line sums it all. Next question. I hope we can take more questions.
Inshallah, let's finish it.
How to stay patient when you see nothing in front of you?
Yeah, this is a good question also. And yes, Maulana has answered these questions. We were not able to ask Shaykh Bahauddin. But when you see nothing in front of you, doesn't mean there is nothing in front of you. When you see a wall in front of you, doesn't mean that when you reach that end, there is no right turn or left turn. But if you see it from far and you see just a block, a wall in front of you and nothing else visible, and you stop over there, then it's your mistake. Stopping is death. Keep moving. Like I mentioned, Yawmul Jadid Rizq al Jadid, new day, new risk. New day, new risk, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will provide you your nasib, your haqq, what you have, what is destined for you, you will receive. So there is no such thing that if you don't see anything in front of you, which it doesn't mean that it's the end of the story. It's not the end of the story. You keep walking. You keep walking, keep your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For such people, if they can make La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim, one tasbih every day, with understanding the meaning of it, it will help them fix their hearts. So, I'll make it very simple. I explain what I'll tell you what has to be done. Keep your trust in Allah. Recite this tasbih, it will help you improve your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep moving forward. Ways will open. But you have to have that yaqeen that ways will open. Allah will, there's another hadith where Rasulullah says that Allah gives you the way you expect from Him. He gives us according to our expectations. So if we are saying that I'm not going to get anything, then He will, that is your expectation. I hope that is, the point is clear, inshallah.
Inshallah, Shaykh. Next three questions are remaining. Inshallah. I will keep this question to last regarding Lakshmati principle. So, one question that I would ask, which has been asked by Murids of Maulana, wherein they have asked, due to this pandemic, children are doing online studies and now become addicted to mobiles. How to address this?
Not just children, even adults have become addicted to mobiles. There are various reasons for this. One is if you see, I don't know, maybe 10, 20, 30 different equipment or different things have been clubbed into one small device, like telephone, camera, cinema, so many things. Everything has been put into one. So because of which, earlier when we used to go to 10 different things, now we keep going back to our small device. And because of this reason, we have become so addicted that the level of our boredom, how soon we get bored, has been lowered. We get bored very easily. Because every few seconds we have to check our phone. Every few seconds we are unnecessary also, we keep swiping through the phone.
Right.
Because of that, our boredom level has come down. Very soon, very easy we get bored. Try this experiment. If you remove the phone from the child's hand for 3 days, the child will go like crazy. Forget the child, we will go crazy. Every few seconds we will try to touch our pocket, we will try to find where the phone is. So we have been addicted. That is true. And it cannot be changed overnight. It cannot be, we cannot just snatch away the phone and finish this story. We have to reduce it gradually. We have to reduce it gradually, and we have to replace it with something else. We have to replace it with something better. And we can use that phone in positive ways. Like for example, several times a day we need to remember death. let's put an alarm in the phone and remind ourselves about death. And every time the alarm beeps, we recite astaghfar. Astaghfirullah Nazim, 100 times, 70 times, whatever, like Shaykh was mentioning about istighfar yesterday. So we start doing that. Replace it with better things. And we need to analyze ourselves. Whatever is useless in that, we have to start getting rid of them step by step. It cannot happen one shot, it cannot happen overnight. We have to go step by step. And regarding the studies, yes, children have to study through their devices today, so we cannot stop that and we should not stop that. And we need to discipline ourselves by ourselves. We cannot blame anyone else for that. We have to discipline. We have to, our children are seeing our examples. So if we stick to our phone 24 hours, they will stick to their phone 24 hours. Put your phone away, they will see you and start copying. Okay, sit down and talk to them. Spend some time with them. Do different things, you know. If we keep, even if we want to talk to each other, we talk to each other sitting in the same house through the telephone, through the chat, then that's the example we are giving them. Okay. So we have to lead with example.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the answer, Shaykh. Next question is, while doing Khatam Sharif from home, what niyat to make of Zawiya or home?
It's very simple. If your home is a Zawiya, make Zawiya niyat. If your home is not a Zawiya, then you make home niyat. نويت ختم الفاتحة في هذا البيت. If it's a Zawiya, في هذا الزاوية. It's very simple. If it is already an authorized Zawiya, then you call it Zawiya. If it's not authorized, then it's not a Zawiya.
MashaAllah. We have the last question for the day, and it's regarding Naqshbandi principle. So the Murid has asked, please advise on Safar Darwa.
There are 11 principles of the Naqshbandiya Tariqa, and this is one of them, Safar Darwatan. It's in between, it's not the first one or whatever, but since the person has asked, we will just speak on it very lightly and move on. Because to explain it in detail, we need to explain a lot of other background and then move on to the topic. But I'll just explain it as brief as I can. Is that in one line, mind your own business. Simple way of saying it is mind your own business. Look into yourself, find your own faults, dive into your own heart and find your way to your Shaykh. Don't poke your nose in other people's business. Safar Darwatan. The heart is the keyhole to the universe of spirituality. So we need to reach that heart. But before we reach that heart, there are so many other obstacles and barriers and negativities and thought process and so many things in between. We need to start clearing all that dust. Clear it, clear it, clear it. Let all that dust settle down, then you see the heart. Then you go towards the heart. But before going to the heart, we need to get rid of everything else. When the mind is relaxed, you will start seeing your inner spirituality. If your mind is too busy with so many things, because the brain and heart are two different things. If the brain is too busy thinking about this and that and this and that, you will not be able to focus on your heart. So to get, your mind will always, oh, that man has a nice car, oh, that man has a nice house. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him so much? Why Allah is giving him so much? Why this? Why that? This man told me this woman told me that. We'll be busy with that, the brain will be very busy. And no time to focus on the heart. But what is important is to focus on the heart. So to focus on the heart, clear your mind. To clear your mind your own business. Inshallah, it will make things easy for you.
Jazakallah, Shaykh. Alhamdulillah, we have completed all the questions. Alhamdulillah, we also think that the questions that have been given by the Murids of Maulana from India to Shaykh Ashraf have been covered. If it has not been covered, you can always inshallah message us. We can maybe Shaykh Ashraf can cover in one of the Sohba sessions, or one of the Sohba sessions, or inshallah we can have a separate session if we have more questions. So I will read it for you, inshallah. So what people has asked, one of the in the comment section of a YouTube channel, one of the person has asked, what is your opinion for Allah Hazrat Imam M. Raza Khan Bari?
A dog cannot comment on lines. Subhanallah. A dog cannot comment on lines. And all these awliya and mashayikh, they are our touch. So this is all I will say. What more can I say? There are different stars in the sky, some bright, some less bright, and Allah Hazrat Rahimahumullah is one of the brightest stars.
MashaAllah. We have also taken one of the questions from our comment section. Inshallah, going forward, we might continue these sessions maybe monthly or weekly, however it goes. We will keep it informed on our official pages for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can keep connected to the official Maulana pages. Also, you can, for India updates, for Murids from India, you can keep updated on YouTube, Insta and Facebook pages of ours. Inshallah. Any closing points?
Inshallah, just related to what Shaykh Bahauddin was mentioning yesterday, I will kind of summarize it. That and similar to what I was saying about Safar Darwatan, is that do not make yourself too busy with unnecessary things. Like Shaykh Bahauddin also mentioned Malayani. Don't get involved in useless stuff and focus on what you should be focusing on. And life will be very much simple for us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He likes beauty, He likes simplicity and beauty. He doesn't like too much of complications and negative, and the more we get involved in unnecessary things, we tangle the nerves of our brains, we can say. So stay away from all these things, let things be simple for yourself, focus on your prayers, focus on what we are supposed to do, and stay away from what we should be staying away from. The halal and haram, do's and don'ts in Islam are very simple, very easy, very clear. So let us stick to what we should be doing, and inshallah things will be better for us. And we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away this pandemic situation from all of us, and He creates ease for all of us all over the world. And whoever have been affected by this illness, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them shifa. And last few days, a lot of news of a lot of people passing away from within our circles also. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them highest stations in Jannah. May Allah forgive me and bless all of you. Wa min Allah tawfiq bi hurmatil habib, hurmatil fatih. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.